That's going to check into this broadcast. Um, what we will be talking about as I go on my spiritual walk, we will be talking about the real reason why TikTok is in court. There's hidden reasons, hidden agendas that's going on. And so I pretty much just want to inform the people about what's really going on with this topic. And it's not just TikTok, it's with every other platform within, this world, within this matrix. Okay? And so let's just go ahead and get into the topic. The topic is talking about TikTok, right? And the identity suppression that they have placed on Aboriginal people. What do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about the community of where I came from. There's a community where I came from, it's called the black community, right? But I want to tell you something. The word black is nothing more than a color, right? But also with the word black, you always have to realize that um it's a character, okay? And with that type of character, you can believe that's what you are, but realize that the software of being black is being downloaded in your mind. Now, this conversation is going to get real deep. You know what I mean? It may be a conversation that you never heard before, but just because you have never heard of it doesn't mean that you can't be informed about what's going on. So don't program your mind to say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go back to the third dimension and, become less than what you are. You could program yourself to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can now program yourself to listen to something that's real, that is actually going on in this world. So back on topic, TikTok and their identity suppression. It comes down to this, okay? You have in this world third dimensional characters, right? Third dimensional characters go on a belief system that the Matrix has designed for them. Not the belief system that is actually within them, right? Not that, but the design of how the Matrix wants them to. I pay attention to the word that you're saying. Be lack, which means if you be lack, that means you will lack within knowledge. So pay attention to the identity that you pick up, because while you're looking at this guy like he doesn't sound like you know what he's talking about, obviously he made your identity look as though to do. So how that is initialized within your conscious is when you come to this realm, right? Earth realm side of it, and the third dimensional world consists of lies, right? And if you're trying to master that, you will become a lie to yourself and also towards others. But if you're now going within yourself, right, which is your spirit, and pulling out information for your spirit and then bringing it to your mind, subconscious to mind, you will realize, like, okay, the things that they taught me in this, the reason why they're in court and the identity suppression that TikTok has done. Some of y'all probably didn't see it. Some of y'all probably didn't catch it, but I definitely caught it myself. So a lot of people are looking at TikTok like, why is TikTok in court? Oh man, they got a lot of, people over there on their platforms. Well, let's just really talk about it. Some of y'all would say it looked like TikTok is in court of what the courts are saying. The courts are saying that TikTok basically is taking data from American citizens, and now that was placed upon you ever since you was a child wasn't true. And you let go of that identity that they have placed upon your mind, right? Okay. And now came into the true identity of who you are. I don't know who you are, but if you know who yourself is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? And they place that upon you. And you go, like, let's say you go on platforms and you saying, I don't believe, listen, I don't believe what this world has taught me about me is true. And then you come into the truth about who you are. Usually when people come into the truth about who they are, not only that they help themselves, they start to help others. Okay? Now, in the process of you becoming the ultimate self of who you are and helping others, you now are gaining you now are gaining access not only to self, but also to, how can I say this in simple terms? The superpowers that are within you. And the superpower that I'm talking about is simply as plain. If you're out in this world, you know what I mean, and you know things at a higher level than other individuals, right? You now program just you talking to them, right? You're now programming their mind to become the best versions of themselves. You got to think about it. The third dimensional world does not like that. They don't like that. They don't like when you sit here and program your own self to become better. And they don't like when you sit here and help others to become better. So what do they do when they see that a character is not operating in a third dimensional way? And what I mean by a third dimensional way is when you look at me, you would say he looks like a black man. That's not my identity though. That's not my identity. So if I'm not, listen, if I'm not acting like a third dimensional character, right? And a third dimensional character is the destroyer of self, right? And also a destroyer to his own nation. If I'm not acting like that, guess what happens? I don't get 2.13 million views. I don't get that. You know how many views I get? I get 100 views. So listen, pay attention to what I'm saying to you. If they are suppressing your channel of you helping yourself and helping others and programming other people to say, hold on, what is advertised on TV about black folks? Majority of negativity. But let me just ask you a conscious question. Is all those black people actually negative? Or is this just being publicized and advertised at a mass level in order to make your mind think that all those individuals are black? There's nothing but programming. And not only that, to, how can I say this in simple terms? Not only to think like that, but also to look at those people and demonize those people. Think about it. Just think. Just think. If I'm advertising on TV low vibrational black people every day, all day, am I not showing your conscious and demonizing those same people? Am I not? To make you believe this is what they are. Some people don't look at television like that. But let me explain something to you really quick. If I'm advertising people, someone, if you're of knowledge because it's world knowledge, it is. Why is that? If they're just saying, okay, we're gonna do it in a cleaner version, well, we're not gonna show you the violence, but it's still violence. If you look at it, if you're looking at a video where it simply says, okay, this is the before effect and this is the after effect, it's still showing you negativity. It's just that they try to clean it up to make it look as though like, okay, keep on going. But previous summer, that's when I had got on TikTok myself. And I was basically, you know, handed down certain knowledge for myself down to the people. And they didn't like that at all. So they kept suspending me, blocking me. They kept saying the things that I was saying, right? It's hateful. So I'm going to say right now, is any of the things that I said hateful? No. More importantly, let me say this too. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. I ask people all the time, are you in control of your own mind? And they say, yes, I'm in control of my own mind. Okay, stop. You're in control of your own mind. Yeah. Okay. So if I speak and I'm giving you high vibrational knowledge, the world is saying to me that is hateful. It's in their analytics. I know you looking at me like, bro, that can't be true. Only if you open up your eyes and fucking see what's really going on. If you become the ultimate version of yourself and you help people, you'll be looking at this world like, hold on, bro. Hold on. So I don't want to be negative towards myself, right? And you don't want to be negative towards people anymore, right? Now you helped yourself in order to help people, and the world will look at you and say you are a hateful individual and demonize you for being positive. That's the real spirit. I know a lot of people looking at me like, bro, that can't be true. Try it out for yourself. Let's see what type of what type of results you get. Because I'm out here. This doesn't stop me for who I am. but it gives me a better perspective of how to look at the world. That's it. So, being that I don't want to act like a third dimensional character, and the third dimensional character that they tried to download me with in my mind is a black person, it's not something that I had to actually believe that I am. Because this, let me say this. With you, when I see what was happening in the world, right? When I see what was happening in the world, where basically we have these different companies that is suppressing people's true identity of who they are. Let me say this. As you walking on your journey and you keep it moving, you keep it stepping, and you remain true to yourself, what that network is doing to you is trying to suppress who you are. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. Listen, some people feelings, right? Some people wrap their feelings around, how can I say this? Around these apps, right? And they get so emotionally attached to the app because they're really passionate about helping people that, pay attention, if the app completely banned them or suppress their message of what they're saying, sometimes people give up. They do sometimes. If their mind is not mentally strong, they will say, you know what? It's what they talking about. It ain't that. They in court because on a simple fact, in a higher realm, okay? We know like, yo, they not supposed to be doing that. People have woken up from their third dimensional character and now stepping out of that third dimensional character to what I'm about to say to you. When it comes to TikTok and the identity suppression that they have done on our Aboriginal people, right? You got to realize in this world, you can load up negativity, right? And let's say you load up negativity to some other people, right? Do you know that negativity is nothing more than energy, right? It's nothing more than energy. That's it. And you're throwing all that negativity on, I want you to educate it and now realize like them is spirits that y'all bothering with. You can't bother with that. You can't do that. A lot of y'all still stuck in the mind frame, oh, we just humans. Let's live in the human experience. You can believe that if you want to. You better remember who you originally are. Before you came into that body, there's something that's within you before you came into that body. And if you can't remember what that is, I don't really feel bad for you. But what I would say to you is that you're forgetting yourself. That's what I would say to you. If you cannot remember what was I before I came into this body, that's one of the main questions people need to be asking themselves. Because only the subconscious you are is that this is the first time you ever done it. This is the first time you ever experienced it. That before, remember means that you have done it many times before, and you're having that information, which is your remembering, sent back to the conscious. That's it. And when I mean the conscious, as in the mind, that's it. The mind only came here to remember self. The mind didn't come here to actually learn from a third dimensional world on the outside itself and then get programmed to be a third dimensional character. Realize that. Think. Let me give you the setup. Think. Me, but remembering who you are. Pay attention. Pay attention. Listen. Remember that you're calling them now. Think. Think. This is why I'm trying to lead you back to your spirit so you can get to thinking now. In the third dimensional world, you call them mommy, daddy, sisters, and brothers, all that. But I will tell you, listen, that's what they want you to think that was what they are. But if you remember who your spirit was, you remember who you were, there was other titles that y'all was going underneath. Pay attention. Only a spirit can name itself. No other individuals have that access to do. But the information that you originally come here with gets suppressed the minute that you come out the womb. When you come out the womb, they're gonna be like, oh, this is my son. Like, that's not who they is, bruh. And more importantly, that's disrespectful, bro, that you gonna call them that, bruh. You know why? Let me tell you why. If that was a free soul before it got a vessel, this is why I say people need to really pay attention to themselves. If that was a free soul, okay, before it got a vessel, and this is why I tell men, really pay attention to yourself, because you're more than what you think you are. Some people would say, with the male chromosome, he has X and Y within him. He can produce males and females. That is true. Let me ask you a question real quick. From a third dimensional world, you would say, oh, what I have in between my legs is sperm. Okay. This shit get deep. Okay. That's what you believe that you got? Like, yeah. Okay. So you're telling me, hold on. You're telling me that your sperm is not souls that you are holding? I'm not looking at it from the angle that you're looking at it as. I'm not a third dimensional character. I know. I don't have to believe. I know. That's the difference. Hold on. So you are saying, pay attention to what I'm about to say to you. So you are saying that you believe what's between your legs is sperm. Yeah. Okay. You ever had a conversation with your ancestors before? And you look at me like, what you talking about? Oh, obviously you ain't been doing enough digging on yourself. I'm gonna ask you a question again. Have you been having a conversation, right? Or any conversation with your ancestors? You should be asking yourself that. Last time I checked, your ancestors dwell within you. If you are willing to gain access to yourself, to remember who they are. You know how in the third dimensional world they tell you that you have split personalities? They over there trying to mind trick you, bro. They over there trying to mind trick you, sis. You don't got split personalities. That's not what you have. And I'm your brother in this realm, okay? And I'm playing as your brother. But we have such a powerful relationship amongst each other that you realize that I'm something more as you gain access to yourself, right? And let's say I pass away, okay? Listen to me. Do you want to remember me? And then when I ask you that question, you would say, yes, I would want to remember you. I don't want to ever forget about you because you know who I am. I'm your brother. Okay, that's cool. All right. You don't, in your mind, you're saying, I do not want to forget about you. Okay, we're in agreement with that. So listen, am I way too much and not realizing what you originally are? And once you come to the realization of that, then you start to get more access to who you are and more access to your ancestral family. You have many of families. You have to realize it though. You're just looking at your physical family like, this is the only family I got. Nah, no, it ain't. You got some individuals on the other side that's willing to help you, transform you into the best version of yourself But you had to not let go of ancestors. So with that being said, like I said, you can now see the light that is within you. The conversation that I had with you was nothing more to enlighten what you are. Okay? Because if you're enlightened, then you now will probably look and dig for information within self. Once you dig for that information within self, then you'll realize that you're more than what third dimensional characters are. Do not hang on the identity that they installed in your mind when you was a kid. Go with the identity of your spirit. That's it. And it's not hard. Don't make it hard. Just believe in yourself, pretty much. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because when you realize, you know, what you are, then you get access to who you truly are. That's it. Okay? Move these cars out the way. Move. Move. Everybody move. Move. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you kindly. When you speak, things get moving.